Right everyone, today we have a very special video for you all. We're going to talk about the ultimate Galactic Legend Ray counter in the form of good old Jedi Knight Revan. Now there's a few variants of this team I've been testing the past couple of days. The best thing is though, I've been fighting against Relic 5 to 7 teams and a lot of my team are still only Gear 12. So this team I think can really class as a hard counter to the new Ray, which I'm aware a lot of you have been struggling against. After this video I'm hoping almost all of you who own a gas can reliably counter this new powerhouse of a team. So as you can see in the footage, we're using Jedi Knight Revan, Yoda, Gas, Jedi Knight Anakin and Thrawn, and while I did have some success with this squad, I found a massive problem that occurs towards the end of the battle. I'm not sure if it's because of my lack of relics on Jedi Knight Revan, but I do have Relic 5 on my Jedi Knight Anakin, so the damage I'm putting out is decent. But the glaring problem that happens frequently is Galactic Legend Rey is coming out of Fracture, and when she's about to be killed, she's using her Whirlwind attack and killing Gas before she dies. The problem this is leaving is, the rest of the squad without him are struggling to kill off the remaining Resistance heroes. Although I succeeded in this attempt shown, more times than others I was running into the issue and losing the fight after killing GL Rey. So I tried moving my best mods onto them, boosting up a few relic levels, and no matter what I did I could not get it to work often enough for me to deem it a viable counter. It likely does work better with more relics, but honestly I don't have the time or resources to pour in to make that happen when I'm trying to unlock GL Rey myself as quickly as possible. So the current team I'm fighting are all Relic 5 bar Watt, who's Gear 10. What was causing so many issues for other counters such as Palpatine and Darth Revan that I completely stopped trying to get them to work. The taunt on Holdo at the start of the battle makes using those squads a lot harder. So then I started messing around with team comps and decided to sub in Bastila over Jedi Knight Anakin. Initially I thought a Gear 12 Bastila wouldn't last long enough to do anything productive. I was hoping that the ability block on her basic would solve the problem of Rey using her special and killing Gas. And surprisingly it worked amazingly. I'm going to show you how that played out later on in the video, but for now we're going to go through the mods needed, and after that we're going to go up against this squad I'm fighting again and one Relic 7 one to show you all how well it works. Yes everyone, that's right, we're beating high Relic GL Reys with 3 Gear 12 characters. That's how well this is working for me. Using Bastila I've had a great success rate now. Admittedly I've only done 3 battles with the squad, but I never once came close to losing, so I'm really happy with the results. You will need max relics on Gas and a few relics on Yoda though for it to work reliably. As for the Zetas, you're going to need all 3 of Revan's, 2 of Gas's, which is his basic, which allows him to hit twice during his turn, and his chosen one unique, which is going to be a key component to why this team does so well. What this Zeta does is it removes 20% of Rey's max health each time he hits her when she has no protection. This is why taking her out later on in the battle is so easy for us. You're going to need to get Yoda's Battle Meditation Zeta as well, as the Foresight is going to massively help reduce the damage your team is going to be taking. Moving on to their mods now, surprisingly it's not as bad as you would imagine. Let's start with our Jedi Knight Revan, who we have modded with our fastest mods, giving us a total of 320 speed. You could probably get away with less, but it's always best to have as much speed as possible. In addition, if the opposing GL Rey has R2, you must make sure your Jedi Knight Revan is faster than their R2, or this team will not work. Both your Revan and the enemy R2 will gain plus 30 speed from their respective leads, so looking at the base numbers will be fine. Up next we have our Gas, who's modded with a crit damage and a crit chance set with a total of 282 speed. Being fast is important for Gas, but make sure to run an offense cross and a crit damage triangle to make sure his damage is high enough to breeze through the remainder of the team once GL Rey is dead. Next up is our Grandmaster Yoda, who's modded with 6 offense mods. Cut me some slack everyone, I did this battle very early in the morning, but in reality run a health set with the offense set. Anyways, we have a total of 295 speed on him, and same as Gas, we have an offense cross and a crit damage triangle to increase his damage. Next up is our Thrawn, who's modded with one of my B-class speed sets. I did not change his mods for this at all. A key factor for winning the battle is your Thrawn must be at least half as fast as the opposing GL Rey +1, so he's able to fracture her before a second attack. This is the only thing that matters with him. When checking the speed, remember that GL Rey will gain plus 30 speed from her lead. And finally we have our Bastila, who's modded with a poor speed set. I didn't change her mods either and just went with what she had. Just try to make sure she's fairly speedy and you should be good to go. So now we're going to take a look at the battle itself against this Holdo and Watt variant, which many people are having problems with. So starting up, the main thing we have to do is to mark GL Rey. In the opening assault, they will always, in my experience, target down Gas. Often this will almost kill him, but can sometimes proc Saviour. If this happens, it can make things a little harder later on, but you should still win the battle fairly easily as long as you don't have absolutely abysmal RNG. After marking Rey, you're going to focus only on her, especially with your Gas, as once the protection is gone, he needs to be hitting her to reduce her max health. Also remember to stack armor shred on her. Your Thrawn should be taking a turn right before Rey's second turn. It's important at this point to fracture on his first turn, which should keep her out of the battle long enough for you to proc her under 50% health to trigger her damage immunity for one turn. Once this is gone, it will be time to kill her off. Be sure to keep her ability blocked with Basilar's basic at all times, but especially just as Fracture is about to come off, as this is when she'll use her Whirlwind special and kill Gas. This is a key problem as you likely won't be able to finish off the rest of the team without him should he die. Remember to keep spreading the foresight and tenacity up from Yoda during the battle to make sure your team doesn't get dazed or damaged as much as possible. I'd also like to say what may cause additional problems for this team if he's geared higher. I can't really say as I've yet to face one, so that's important to keep in mind. Although I imagine the AoEs from Gas, Jedi Knight Revan and Yoda will make short work of him given he won't get the boost from the GL Ray lead. Once GL Ray is down, it's time to deal with the rest of the squad. This ironically I find to be the most dangerous part of the fight, as those res heroes are no joke. Generally, as long as Gas is alive, you should breeze through them with little issues. It's even better if Saviour wasn't procced early in the battle, because as you can see in this footage, they did proc it on him now. The problem with these guys is like Ray, once they drop below 50% health, they gain damage immunity for one turn, so it's hard to focus them down quickly to remove the damage they deal to your team. I find Finn to be the biggest threat, so he should defo be marked and taken out first as soon as you can. They can deal insane damage and easily take out members of your squad, so do your best to call in assists so your team heals as much as possible. If you still have Thrawn at this point, that will also help massively in reducing the damage to your team. So this time we're going to go up against a team with a lot more relics and a different combination. He's a great member of our Shard chat and has been extremely helpful in helping us get around his team the past week or so. The tactics are mostly the same, and in all honesty I found the stealth from R2 to help greatly, as we were able to stealth our Yoda to protect him from any counter attacks for a good chunk of the battle. I actually found this squad a lot easier to deal with overall. The damage on the opening barrage from Finn did not put our Gas as close to death as the last team we faced, so we're in a much better position at the start of the battle. Same tactics as before, we're going to mark Ray, then fracture her, then keep targeting her until we proc her damage immunity, and then we'll kill her off. The best thing about our team is there's very little RNG, and above all else, it's extremely reliable and will win most of the time you're using it. As I mentioned before, R2 won't be an issue at all for this team as long as your Jedi Knight Revan goes before him. Should he take a turn and stealth GL Ray, you will lose the battle, so above all else, make sure your Revan is faster than their R2. Kenobi being here will also offer no issues for this team. As amazing as he is as a character, his taunt and crit immunity buffs will offer zero issues for our Jedi Knight Revan, as his Mark will land buff immunity on GL Ray, and as you all know, Mark also applies a force taunt, so you won't need to worry about his antics ruining your chances of winning the battle. The main glaring problem, as mentioned at the start of this video, is almost all of the time this team will do everything in their power to take out your Gas, so it's extremely important that you do everything in your power to help him stay alive. Sometimes it can be pretty close, and if you find you're losing him often, it might be worth boosting up his health and protection stats a little in his mods. To help during the battle though, do your best to always call him to assist, as under the Revan lead he'll heal protection when attacking out of turn. You also have Yoda's buff spread, Jedi Knight Revan's heal, and Thrawn's protection heal to help keep him alive as well. And that's all for today everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the video and learned a solid counter to the new frustrating GL Ray meta. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I have seen a lot of Palpatine and Darth Revan squads that have had some success against Rey. Honestly though, when I tested these out, I had very little luck with them, and when I did, it was heavily RNG dependent. The other counter that I tried was the Dooku lead with Geospy, and while this worked amazingly against some compositions, once you add in something that can taunt or someone that can create a taunt like Wat, this team becomes completely useless and won't be of any use anymore. Out of all of them, this Jedi Knight Revan squad really stood out. It ticked all the boxes for me, and I'm happy to say it's a very reliable counter, and the best thing about it is it's not too much of a gear grind. 3 of the characters are gear 12 and the other 2 are very common choices to relic anyway. I'm going to quickly show a slideshow of the mods from both teams I fought, the first of which is the Wat Tambor variant, and the second team will be the mods of the R2 and Kenobi variant, so you can get a rough idea of the kind of players that I was fighting against. If you encounter any variants of this team you cannot beat, be sure to get in touch with me via my Discord and let me know. My server link is in the description of this video. I'll do my best to look for additional ways to help you all counter this powerhouse of a team. I'd also like to say a massive thank you to all of my viewers, subscribers and fans. I've recently just passed the 1k subscriber threshold. To do this in such a short time, I think it's only been about 7 months, is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to bring all of you amazing people more content, and I'll be uploading a video within the next week or so, addressing where we're going to go from here. I'm also currently working on a phase 2 team guide for Lightside GOTB, which I'm hoping to have uploaded ready for you all next week, hopefully before the phase starts. After that, I have high hopes of being able to finally beat the Kia D Mundi mission, now that they've finally fixed the bug with Django's burning. Once that's all done, hopefully I'll be ready to unlock GL Ray myself, and I'll be able to do a review of the event difficulty, and if I generally enjoyed playing it. As always everyone, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, join my Discord server, and share the video with your friends. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you all very soon.